And I've even had, I have conversations with people all the time about relationships. And they tell me, well, you ain't in no relationship. How you going to tell somebody about one? But you ain't never been married. How you going to tell somebody about a marriage? And my answer to them all the time, consistently, is experience is the best teacher.
Yeah,
and
absolutely.
I have been in relationships before, so that experience gives me the right to be able to speak on what I've experienced and what I've seen others go through as well. You've been in 4 marriages, and 2 of those have been only a year. Why so short? Why not fight it out? I've always used to hear this thing, like, if you make it past 5 years, everything's good.
Mm-hmm.
Why not fight it out? Why not stick out a little longer? What made you walk away so soon in those particular things?
I didn't feel like I had to take it. I was like, I'm too young for this. And then my motto became love them and leave them. And I would. When I got tired, I was like, I'm out. But now, being a mature woman, I don't believe that.
Okay,
you know, I do believe if someone's abusing you physically or mentally or spiritually, that it's okay to walk away. And I tell people, always get to the last resort. Like, don't just throw in the towel. Because I know so many people who want to get divorced, and I'm like, no, don't walk away. Exhaust all possibilities before you do. I'm totally for marriage. I love marriage. I love commitment. I love relationships. I'm not the type of woman who wants to just sleep around and date all these men. Now, there's a period of times where I have dated lots of men, but it was just a date. You know, I could look across the table and say, you know, I ain't interested, but thank you for the meal. You know what I'm saying? But I'm not that type of woman. I'm like, shoot, I want somebody to come home to at night. You know?
Okay.
Yeah, that's important to me, to have that person that I can share my heart with, because a lot of times people see me as this strong woman, this aggressive woman, and I am. But on the inside, I'm very tender, and I'm very loving, and I'm going to give you my all. But when I sense or when I see that my all is being taken for granted, I start to retreat. And that's what I'm currently working on.
In 2014, going in 2015, where do you see people doing wrong as far as, where do you see it going wrong as far as the dating game?
Where do I?
Yeah, what do you, in this new age of dating, where you have social media, you have, you know, text messaging and all these things we had that we didn't have years ago. And I'm not trying to tell my age here, but you know what I'm saying. What are people doing wrong in the dating game in 2014? And how should they date in today's time to move into a secure and safe and a successful relationship, to move into a successful marriage?
I think that people really need to be honest. First, be honest with yourself, be true to thyself, and then be honest with that individual. You know, I think there's not enough honesty that's going on. Forget social media and all that kind of stuff, because we can control that. You know, but be honest. Say what it is. You know, if you just want to screw me, say you just want to screw me. You know, if you're looking for a lasting, loving relationship, let's talk about that. Let's lay our cards on the table and see if we're a great match or a good match for one another. A lot of people don't want to be honest. And the funny thing is, I'm currently writing another book, and I'm in the process of interviewing 25 men. And I've interviewed 5. And one thing that they all had in common was they wanted love and affection. And I asked some of them, if that's what you want, are you willing to love your wife like Christ loved the church? Because he gave everything for it. Like when the church does wrong, God is always there. So are you willing to give all of that? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because we want it. And what I notice is women, we tend to, or I'll say this, men, you guys will chase and you guys will do and all that kind of great stuff before, but once you have her, a lot of times you retreat and we begin to change. We begin to nurture you and become sometimes something different that we're not, just to please you, because that's the innate nature of a woman. We want to please our men, and we will do anything to please him as long as he's treating us right. But in us pleasing you, are you willing to please us? Are you willing to say, hey, this is what's going on in my life? Are you willing to cry at night, you know, with her?
No,
or
I ain't about to shed no tears.
Right, and that's what I'm saying. Like, it's unfortunate that black men, and I don't know about all men, but I know about my culture, black men are so prideful that they have been taught to be strong and to hold it down, that they're so unemotionally unattached. When all we want is some emotional attachment. I want to see you in your weakest moment. There's nothing wrong with that. I want to see you praise God. I want to see you lift your hands up and just cry out before God. You know, and I believe if more men did that, more women would appreciate what they have.
Okay, now we got through what men are doing. I had this conversation as well.
Okay.
Now, what are the women doing that they need to change and correct to be prepared?
I can speak for me. I'm going to speak for me.
Okay.
A lot of times when we've given our heart to men, and there's a breakup, there's also a brokenness within us. So in that brokenness, there's more baggage. And that bag becomes heavy after a while. So when we enter a new relationship, we're bringing all that baggage with us. The thing is, will the man allow us to dump our baggage at his feet? And is he willing to deal with all of me? Because I have a lot going on. It's, you know, people see, and I don't want to say the facade, they see the outside, but they don't see the inside. They don't see the tender heart. They don't see, you know, the woman that really desires love and things like that. So if I give you all of me, are you going to give me all of you, or are you going to use that against me?